So if you have used the Android Studio to create apps for the Android phone, you will love the new program from Google called Flutter. Android Studio only creates apps for the Android, while Flutter creates apps for both Android and iPhone. So this means that you only have to have one code base, while previously you had to have one code base for Android and one code base for iOS. So the downside for Flutter is that you have to learn a new programming language, and it's called Dart. But the plus side is that you can still use Android Studio. So today I want to show you how to actually install and configure Flutter so you can get started with a new app. Before we get started with the video, I just want to show you the website codingfor.com. At codingfor.com you can attend free courses in engineering, programming like Android, C++ and Java, web development like HTML, MySQL and PHP, operating systems like Ubuntu and Windows. Codingfor.com has programs, scripts and source code for you to download for free at the download section. If you have any questions about the video, please join the Codingfor.com community forum. Codingfor.com is hosted by one.com. Use the link below for a special discount. And here we have all the steps that we need to do in order to get Flutter installed. So first let's download Git. And let's just install Git. Next, install. Okay, so Git is now installed and we are going to go for the next step, which is to install Android Studio. So let's just download Android Studio from the website. And just click next, next, and install. Start Android Studio. And OK. And here click next, next. And I like the Dracula design. If you like the IntelliJ, just choose the IntelliJ. And then finish. And now it will download 1 million files. Okay, so Android Studio is installed. So let's click on Start a new Android Studio project. Just click next, 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 and finish. And then the Gradle will download, so just let it download and install everything. Okay, so everything is downloaded and the Gradle is finished. So now we can set up an virtual mobile phone. So just click the arrow here and create a new virtual device. And I like to use the Nexus 5. and then just download file, accept, next. Okay, if you see the screen, then everything is okay. You can just go ahead and close both the emulator and Android Studio. The final step is to install Flutter. So let's just go to my website, askit123.com, and in programming and Flutter, and installing Flutter. And this is a command that we have to copy, and you go to start and write git cmd, and then you write this command that I copied, git clone -b beta https // git hub.com /flutter/flutter.git. And then you access with your username and password. And if you don't have one, just sign up. Okay, so it's now downloaded to your computer. So you can start the Flutter console. So Flutter, and you have Flutter console.bat. And you want to write Flutter doctor. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is to accept all the licenses. So Flutter doctor -- Android licenses. And yes, 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 yes. And then you can run Flutter doctor again. Okay, so now it just have no devices available. So Android SDK. And just launch Android Studio. And then start the virtual phone. And you see that you got no issues. So that means that and we have installed Flutter. So back to Android Studio. Go for File and Settings and Plugins and Browser Repositories, and write Flutter here. And install it, and accept, and yes, and restart Android Studio. go for File, New Flutter project, and select a Flutter application, and underneath Flutter SDK path, go for your users and your username and Flutter, and then click Next and Finish. Okay, then here select the Open Android Emulator, and then click Start.